Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents may or may not affect our daily lives. Listen, we are here and we are about to review The Marvels, which is in theaters as we speak. I'm going to give you a spoiler ish review. I am not going to spoil the whole movie, but there's going to be certain things I'm going to talk about that may give you some indication where we're going. Okay. If you like what you see, please hit that like button. And also, if you'd like, please subscribe to my channel. And once you subscribe, you'll be opened up to a plethora of movies and television series that I have reviewed, and also my pop culture chats. My pop culture chats are just going over celebrity information and news and things going on in the news to see if they have any bearings on what's going on with us today. All right. So I'm going to read the plot. I got my little trusty phone. I'm going to read the plot as indicated by IMDb. Hold on. I don't know what happened to it just that quick. All right. It says here Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, has reclaimed her identity from the tyrannical Kree and taken revenge on the Supreme Intelligence. But unintended consequences see Carol shouldering the burden of a destabilized universe. When her duties send her to an anomalous wormhole linked to a Kree revolutionary, her powers become entangled with that of Jersey City superfan Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, and Carol's estranged niece, now Saber astronaut Captain Monica Rambeau. All right. So, questions that you ask. I come at this as a casual MCU fan. I'm not a comic book purist. I am not I'm not looking for all these different things to connect. I just went with an open mind and watched the movie. So, first question that I had to ask myself was after I left out the movie to be able to relate to other casual fans, would you have to watch every MCU movie in the MCU to understand what's going on? And the answer is no. However, to get some in depth information, because some things may confuse you, particularly um, Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau, with Monica being her niece and all of those things like that, that may confuse you. You would need to go back to Captain Marvel, the movie Captain Marvel. How significant and where did Monica Rambeau come from, and all of that. I would tell you you probably need to watch WandaVision and well, just how she got her powers. You would probably need to go watch WandaVision, probably episode, I believe it's do 4, 5, and 6. I would tell you to watch the whole series. I enjoyed WandaVision, but just if you want to know how Monica Rambeau got her powers, you'd have to watch episode, I believe it's 4, 5, and 6. And then lastly, we have Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. Where did she come from and how did she get her powers? I would tell you to watch the Disney Plus series called Miss Marvel, and you will have a better understanding of what's going on in regards to how did Kamala Khan get her powers and what's going on with her. Okay, so again, you don't have to watch those shows to get the understanding of what's going on, but it will give you some background information and it will give you that motivation of our villain. Okay, I'm going to share with you on my screen because you know Pam love a good PowerPoint, yeah. So this is just what we're doing. This is the review, and we're reviewing the Marvels. I don't know what made me do that. Whew, craziness. All right. So we have the director, Nia DaCosta, and go back and check out my review of Marvels in Crisis. Uh, there was a little blurb about her, and to me, it appeared like a negative blurb about Nia DaCosta. But she is the director of this movie. We have Brie Larson's returning in her role as Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. We have Tiana Paris, who is reprising her role from WandaVision as Monica Rambeau, aka Pulsar, I think is what they were going to name her. You have Aman Vellani, aka Kamala Khan, reprising her role as Miss Marvel. You have Samuel Jackson, who is reprising his roles over a series of Marvel films as Nick Fury. Also, he had his own Disney Plus series called Secret Invasions. I have not really watched Secret Invasions yet. Um, that's going to be a bingeable moment for me later on. And then we have Zawi Ashton, who is playing our villain, Dar Ben. I don't know why I was calling it Ben Dar, but it's Dar Ben. Okay. So I read over the plot for you all. And basically, I can get here. Yeah. I read over the plot for you all. Is this a good movie? This movie was decent. We there was a lot of action in there. I understood the motivation of the villain. Uh, you have to understand that this villain had a was trying to restore her home world because there was an environmental incident that happened that destroyed or weakened her home world, and she wants to restore her home world back to the glory that it once was. If you're not familiar with the Kree and the Kree Empire, you know, our you know, follow the channels of our comic book purist. They'd give you a brief indication of who the Kree were and what in juxtaposed to who the scrolls are and all of those things. So we do see the villain is a Kree, and we do see that there are scrolls in this particular movie. They're not. There's no fighting between the Kree and the Skrulls because, from what my understanding, Kree and Skrulls are just enemies of each other. But there's no particular fighting, so to speak. But there is some conning and trickery and all kinds of stuff going on in here, caused by our villain. Anyway, again, I told you there was an environmental incident that happened. The reason why our villain is doing the things that she is doing. Uh, One of the things I think that ties these stories together, as far as Kamala Khan and this villain, is because the villain is using a bangle. And apparently, this bangle is from Cree mythology, which is actually two. And you know who else has the opposite bangle? Kamala Khan. So that's how Kamala Khan ties into it. Apparently, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Monica Rambeau, their powers are linked. And I want to say that their powers are linked by the one of the Infinity Stones, and I think that their powers are linked by the same Infinity Stone, if I'm not mistaken. The bluish one, purplish one, whatever color that one, it seems like they're linked. But anyway, as they use what happens is the villain goes out and starts messing with the hexagons that allow for people to pass through different points in time in the universe. She starts messing with that because now she has that bangle. She went and she saw and got that bangle. She starts messing with time. And what happens is the powers that have made that is also seen to be connected to Carol Danvers, Miss Kamala Khan, and I mean Miss Marvel, aka Kamala Khan, and Monica Rambeau. So what happens is when these three start to use their powers, they change places with each other. And so this is how they understood there was something going on with that particular uh, thing in space. Okay, so that's basically what's moving the story. The team, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Captain Rambeau learn to work with each other. You see that Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau uh, hash out their differences of what happened and why Monica Rambeau feels the way she feels, why Captain Marvel feels the way she feels. Kamala Khan is just that little, that little conduit of y'all need to work this out. I admire you, Captain Marvel. I also admire you. You all the adults work this damn thing out. So they do, and they start learning a little bit more about each other and learning more about their powers and things like that. Now, with Kamala Khan comes Kamala Khan's family, and they were involved in this movie in that they gave me more of that purpose why Kamala Khan is doing what she's doing, and because she has that strong sense of family, she has a strong sense of making sure that she can save the world, she can save people, she can do all of those different things. You see, Captain Marvel has just basically, she's no nonsense. I'm going to do what I believe is right. This is what's going to happen. And Monica Rambeau is the smart person. She's the one that understands all the science and the physics of everything that's going on. Carol Danvers is the pilot. Monica Rambeau is the person that understands the whole situation from a scientific standpoint. All right. So that's me explaining the plot the best way to. Now there are some comedic things going on. I enjoyed the Flurkins. I did. I enjoyed their role in the movie. I enjoyed Kamala Khan's family. Now I do think some things was a little ham-fisted. There was just a lot some things that could have been subtle with that comedic thing on there with the family, but I overall enjoyed them. I overall enjoyed the fact that they embrace their child. They know their child is a teenager, but they do understand that this particular teenager has a power, as Loki would say, a glorious purpose, and they embrace that, but also they want their child to be safe, and they go above and beyond what they need to do to make sure that happens. And they also participate in some of the fight scenes, which was interesting. And I did like the fact that they were participating in these fight scenes and they was getting their behind whooped, but the fact that they was still participating and not sitting back, because nothing aggravates me more than to see people not really pay attention or want to fight for their lives. They were fighting for their lives. They was getting their butts beat, but they got in there to do what they had to do because they want to, they did their part. Um Overall, so if you and the reason I mentioned earlier, and I talked about this one of my last videos that I had done about uh Marvel, the studio. I think it was Variety. Variety did the article, and they talked about this movie. And I've also seen a lot of critics talk about this movie, talking about it's one of the worst movies that they had seen, talking about all of these little different things. And I know that they're speaking from being comic book purist, also being mega fans of the MCU. So this is what I would say for those of us that are casual watchers and casual reviewers. I would go see this movie. This movie had action, it had fun, um, it had some, and I said environmental issues, but not necessarily. From the villain's point of view, they were trying to get back their planet and things to be healthy, but there was a cause to that. And you will find out who, what, when, where, and why was the cause of all of that. And that goes back to, do you need to watch a certain movie to understand what's going on? And for that particular part, you would have to go back and watch Captain Marvel, the movie Captain Marvel. Okay? So this was good. If you liked a little action, if you liked a little fun, if you like for a plot to make some sense, it made sense to me. Why the villain's purpose? What was the villain's purpose? Why was the villain doing what they were doing? What she was doing? It made fun. It had some fun spots. Um, they went to different planets, and there was one particular planet that they went to, which was fun. It seemed fantastical, but that's to me what Marvel movies are. They're sci-fi and fantastical type of movies. It seemed very fantastical, but it was still fun. Again, if you want to go see this, I would say don't listen to these critics. Again, and I'm going to explain to you why. If I had to rate this movie, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, it's good fun. Take your kids. It's great fun. You will have a good time. Your kids will have a good time. Everything will go. So I had been reading and all this other stuff. And the reason why I say sometimes you just should just go to a movie and really not listen to a lot of these critics, because you have a lot of these critics and pundits and people who are on Twitter and people who do other YouTube videos and do reviews and things like that, and they'll tell you how bad this movie is. They'll tell you, it's not that good, and all these things. And let me explain to you why. Now, this is my opinion of the whole thing. So, to me, quiet as it's kept and loud as I'm about to say it. A lot of these critics and pundits and reviewers and everything like that, everybody wants another Thanos moment. That's what they're looking for. So they pick apart these movies trying to figure out how this movie is supposed to connect with the greater MCU and where they're supposed to go and all these little different things like that. Now they'll say, no, 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 that's not what I'm looking for. But it's exactly what you're looking for. And so if that movie does not meet that formula that was set forth by the Russo brothers and all those things, I think it's stage 1, 2, and 3. If it doesn't hit that, they don't like it. I for the life of me, I do not understand why a Marvel movie, a Marvel character has to always connect with another character. Why can't they have a movie? There is some stake going on in the universe, and they solve whatever that is, and it doesn't necessarily have to affect Spider-Man and Iron Man and Captain America and the multiverse and all those little different things. I just don't understand why a movie cannot have um its own stakes without having to affect everything going on in the multiverse. I don't understand why it has to be, but I think a lot of people don't like this movie because it doesn't. The other reason why I don't think a lot of some of these critics and some of these pundits and other these YouTubers that are watching these movies and things like that, I think a lot of them don't like it. And again, it's another quiet as it's kept and loud as I'm going to speak on it. If the majority society doesn't see themselves in a movie, then they don't like it. If they're not centered in this movie, they don't like it. If the people who are creating the movie, if the people who are doing everything, if they do not look like the majority of our society, then they don't like it. And what they have done is that they have taken terminology that has been used in the Black American community for a while, and they have taken it and turned it up on its head. And everything, if and basically what they're saying is, we don't like this woke stuff. And what they're meaning, without them saying what their meaning is, if these characters ain't white females and white males, we don't like it. If these characters are part of the LGTB community, we don't like it. If the people who are writing and creating these things do not look like me, we don't like it. And so because we don't like it, we will start talking about all this extraneous stuff and then make it seem like, oh, well, it's just not going to be good because of this, that, and the third. Usually, what makes a bad movie is if the writing is trash. If the writing is trash, if the way they put together the movie, the way they edit the movie and things like that doesn't make any sense. Those are the things. But most of the time, the characters and things like that, how they look, when they look, where they look, and what they do. Those are to me things in the background that make a movie great or makes it not. Now, you also have your comic book purist, and your comic book purists want characters to look a certain way and be a certain way, and all this other stuff. People love Wonder Woman. Why do they love Wonder Woman? Well, because Wonder Woman is wearing a little sleek little bodysuit with her legs out, everything that doesn't even seem practical as a superhero. They love that about that. And she's pretty, but she's not, she's strong, but she's not that strong. But if a woman character comes up and she is uh, pretty but strong, but because she's not showing all of her body parts, then something's not right with her. Now, this is Pam's interpretation of everything. That may not be what you're saying, but is what you're showing that you're saying. You may not be saying it, but you're saying it in other ways. I know that sounds crazy, but you just deal with me. So that's what I think. I think if you are a casual watcher of any type of movie, MCU movie, and you don't understand all the ins and outs and stuff like that, still go to the movies. And for me, it was confirmed. I took a friend with me to a movie. Now, she is not into MCU nothing. She don't understand nothing about MCU. She don't understand about no Thanos. She don't understand about any of those things. She went to this movie and she enjoyed it. I asked her, what did she enjoy about it? She said, I understood what was going on. She says, now I don't understand how she knew this person and how this person knew each other. But overall, I understood the plot. I understood what was going on. So for me, that confirmed for me that a lot of the critics that are talking about how they didn't like this movie had to do with the things that I had just recently spoke about. And that's what I've been seeing. If you disagree, that's fine. Put it down in the comments and let me know. Let me know what I missed in regards to what I just talked about with the critics and all those things, and the comic book purist and all those different things. Let me know what I missed. Talk to me down in the comments. I really want to know. But that's the way I've seen it as a casual viewer from this last thing. Now, I understand that phase 4, again, there was no Thanos moment in phase 4. Do I disagree that some of those movies were trash? Absolutely not. Thor: Love and Thunder, trash, trash. Some of these MCU Disney Plus series, trash. I would agree with that. But again, overall, the Marvels, to relegate this movie as something that no one should go see, as I have heard in pundits say and pundits imply, that's not good. That's not good. This was a decent movie. This was it the great movie? No. Captain America and the Winter Soldier. That was the better movie. That was the best movie in the MCU, if you want me to tell you. But this is a movie that I think people should go see, and I would encourage anyone and everyone to go see. Take your family, have a good time, eat you some popcorn with some Reese's Pieces in it, like I do, and get your bottled water or your drink or whatever you do, and go have a good time. Go have a good time. Don't worry about how something connects to the MCU, and if this is supposed to be here and what part of the multiverse, and because don't worry about none of that. Go have a good time. All right, people. Tell me what you think. If you've gone to see the Marvels, tell me what you think. If you hadn't gone because somebody has told you that it was going to be straight and utter trash, are you still not going to go? I hope this review gets you to go to the movie and have a good time. Y'all get back out here and go to the movies and have a good time, and to look at these movies for yourselves. Because I see the cycle coming back. Because you remember how you used to have the very professional critics will talk about these movies and love on these movies, and then you next thing you know, they turn around and they can't stand a single movie, and people would listen to them, and then these movies would get on. I'm dating myself. You know how old I am. These movies will get on VHS tapes or DVD, and then you start watching this movie, and you're like, "Well, dog, I could have watched this in the movie theater. This is not half bad." I think that's where we have come full circle again, and that was the influx of the YouTube reviewers and the Twitter reviewers and all these people in social media that started reviewing, people started listening to what they're talking about in antithesis of the professional critics. But now what's happened is that these particular critics, your social media critics, are doing the same thing to me that professional critics used to do about 15, 20 years ago. So again, at that point, I would say go to the movies. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I would say go to that movie. Don't allow these critics to tell you that, oh, you shouldn't go see this movie because they have their own internal biases. Because again, a lot of these MCU fans want another Thanos moment. That's what they want. They want that story. They want everything in the MCU to tie into something. Because if you listen to them, we're trying to figure out how that's going to tie into the X-Men, how this is going to tie into the Fantastic Four. We're in the multiverse. Baby, take an enema and relax. Crap all that crap out. Go to the movies and have a good time. All right? All right. Y'all, we do this every week. Please like, comment, and supply and subscribe. Tell me what you think down here in the comments. Let me know. I could be missing something. You know, I am not above uh alternate opinions and all those little different things. Let me know what's going on. That was a lot. Didn't mean for this video to be that long, but hey, it is what it is. Go see the Marvels. It's good fun. It's good fun. All right. Again, we do this every week. And as always, people, bye bye.